I'm Kathy Haley, and we're here at TVN at NAB Show. Media and entertainment companies want to move their production to the cloud for more efficiency, so their producers can produce more programming. At the same time, they want to make this move at their own pace, and they need solutions for that. We're here at Ross Video, which is one of the largest technology providers to the industry, to talk to Jeff Moore, the Executive Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer, about how the company is answering the need for this move to the cloud and this move at my own pace. Jeff, welcome to TVN at NAB.
Thank you, Kathy. Great to be here at NAB again.
Like, what a concept.
Yeah, in person.
While I was prepping for this, I went to your website and I saw a very lovely video that says that Ross can put the cloud in your studio and the studio in the cloud. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so that's one of our major launches for the show is Ross Production Cloud, and basically what it is a technology that brings the cloud into the studio, so that from a studio perspective in the production control room, operationally it's essentially the same as what you're currently experiencing, with dedicated hardware on site. So that's really what it's all about from the studio and the cloud and the studio point of view.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about the Ross Production Cloud specifically. Talk about the needs that it addresses.
So yeah, there's a lot of interest out there in the industry of taking advantage of the benefits of cloud and the flexibility it offers, the fact that you don't have to have a data center yourself. You can use somebody else's data center to run your technology in it. And that's been growing over time. We've been involved for quite a while in cloud technology. So that's really what it's all about. For certain clients, this is just a huge thing that that they've been driving towards. So we're there now. We've got a solution. It's end to end, and it's going to help enable productions that maybe wouldn't have happened in the past.
And you have another initiative here called the Hyper-Converged Platform.
Yes.
What is that?
So hyperconvergence is really all about putting more into a single device. So if you think about your smartphone, for example, and all of the technologies that it has absorbed over the years, it's more than just a phone, right? It's a computer, it's a calculator, it's a camera system. And so we're doing that with our hyperconverged platform for broadcast production. So with the core of it is our Ultrix routing system. We call it a routing system, the ultimate connectivity platform. But it also has all of these other capabilities like multi-viewing, audio mixing, production switching, and these things are all software enabled. So now you can shrink the footprint. And again, it's all about flexibility, lowering costs, making things more efficient and more configurable.
And does this specifically address remote production?
It can, yeah. I mean, in both cases, remote production is a possibility. And we've been, since even before the pandemic, we were very involved in a lot of remote production applications, which first started in sports, really, at the sort of high school level and that sort of thing. And so when the pandemic happened, we took advantage of a lot of that knowledge to enable our customers to produce content remotely, and either with, the back ends at their location, in their own facilities, or now in a cloud that they own and control.
When I read about hyperconverged platform, it makes me think virtualization. Is that it?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, so you think about like a smartphone where you've got a bunch of capabilities, but then you can add software to it.
Right.
And it's the same thing. Apps, yeah, it's exactly the same thing. So you want another multi-viewer, you add another multi-viewer app. And you can enable that later. You don't have to think about that up front, that need. Uh-huh. So that is, you could think of that a little bit as virtualization, even though it's a hardware-centric solution.
Do you recommend cloud or on-prem at this point?
Yeah. So one size doesn't fit all. So for us, it's really all about choice, right? And for customers that, to find the right answer, I think, to their production challenges, and that's how we bring value to them, is by solving for, their creative needs and their business needs. In some cases, that means, hyper-converged on-prem platform. For things like UHD production, it's a lot easier to do it that way. In other cases, the cloud is a great solution to do their productions in and look at moving that way. So it really depends, and from our perspective, we want to enable both, and we're on both tracks as a company.
Sounds like it. Is there additional training? If I move to the cloud, if I go to the ROS production cloud, do I have to train my people?
So operationally, basically the same thing. And so you still have production switcher control panels and automation interfaces and all of that stuff on-prem. And the fact that the cloud is somewhere else, the people in the studio don't notice. So so that's kind of really what we're going for, that sort of seamless thing. Now, from an engineering perspective, customers are deploying this in. Our team will help them, with automation scripts and things like that to do the deployments and be able to spin things up and spin things down and, make sure that they're not running up a huge bill on their cloud services, right?
Yeah. The bill has been an issue for some people. Is this ROS Video's first push into the cloud?
No, we started, I think I mentioned this earlier, we started like 5-6 years ago first of all, we had developed for even a lot longer before that web-based technologies where you got a web front end. Our newsroom system, Inception, was I think the first newsroom system to really use web technologies in its development. And of course that lended itself to moving to the cloud. So we actually offer Inception.cloud as a SaaS offering where we're operating, it runs in AWS, for example, and we're operating it on behalf of the customers. They don't have to worry about the back-end data centers at all. They just get, they just sign up and start using it. We help them train their staff, and away they go. And that's been really interesting, actually, for some clients that want to flex up and down. We have one of our big clients in Europe, for example, we'll do a big scale up for the Olympics. They'll have like 300, 400 users or more around the world, and then they scale back down again when they're not as busy. That's
very interesting for an NRCS, Talk to me about the ROS hyper-converged platform. What is in it?
Oh, okay. Well, almost everything you need in the production.
List here.
So video goes in, video comes back out again, but in the middle, it's really most of what you need in a production. You still need some external sources, but let's say you bring your cameras in. There's a production switcher option built inside. There's multi-viewers. There's audio mixing. There's audio embedders, de-embedders on every input and output. So just a ton of technology, and it's all configurable inside. So and there's a development track to add even more in the future.
And I think throughput is a big issue with that. It's a big plus, no?
It's massive, yeah. And the other thing that is really different about this, and one of the reasons we use the term hyper-converged, is it changes the way you think about designing a system, right? Whereas it used to be a lot of cables externally, well, those cables are all disappeared inside this box now. And it becomes configuration, right, versus cabling. And in some ways that has got similar to the cloud, where you configure your data center in the cloud when you go and do it, and spin up what you need and set up your virtual private network and all that kind of stuff in there. And the hyperconverged platform is similar because it's all about how you configure and enable things.
We've seen some signs around NAB. One platform, endless configurations. That, I guess, would be the hyperconverged.
There you go. Yeah, you've been checking our marketing out. Yeah.
Okay. And we're here. I know you took a different approach to your booth this year. Not lots of big machines everywhere, monitors. You've got more of a networking approach. You do have. Is this a reflection just of a desire to network, or is it a reflection of things being virtualized and in the cloud, Jeff?
I think with NAB, we weren't sure exactly what to expect this year. We thought we'd focus on, reconnecting with people and having conversations with clients, which is really, I think, what this event is about anyway. But that's really the focal point of our booth, and I think it's worked out actually really well so far. It's just day one, but response has been great. We got lots of hangout zones, couches, and stuff like that. So and meeting rooms
and socks.
And we have, the new version color bars socks, which we should have brought out to put on camera. But if you're here at the show, come and get your socks and water bottle.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Jeff Moore, Executive Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer at Ross Video. We're at TVN at NAB. We are streaming live to TV News Check's homepage, social channels, Vimeo and YouTube channels, and we're on demand as well. So you can go to our player right on the homepage and pick out what you want to watch. See you next time.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Kathy.